Just recently today on Twitter, Marcel Dorf, at Big Marcel 24, he just posted the bout order for UFC 283. And on Twitter, so he's got the whole lineup for the whole Brazil pay-per-view, the prelims. Not really going to bother listing down the prelim order, but of course the main card opener is Craig versus Walker, and then to follow that, Murphy versus Andrade. Officially the feature fight is Magny versus Burns. Originally that was slated as like the main card opener, but it's going to be higher up on the main card. And Figgy versus Moreno is still listed as a co-main event, and the main event is still to be announced, which I find very interesting because I thought it was going to get to a point where they were just going to give up and just make Figueiredo versus Moreno for the main event. But no, it seems like they are going to announce something soon, and they're going to announce something. Before the end of this week, by the end of this week, or maybe by surprise in the middle of UFC 282. So now we know it's official. Amanda Nunes is fighting. But against who? I mean, some people are theorizing maybe Shevchenko Santos 2 will headline, but there's no way Valentina Shevchenko will be a main event of a pay-per-view in Brazil over a male Brazilian champion. I mean, Shevchenko has shared a pay-per-view with Davison Figueiredo before, and she was the co-main event. So I can't see why that would be any different now, unless like the Santos rematch is that big where it's like pay-per-view headliner worthy. But I honestly don't see that. What I think is going to happen is Amanda Nunes will fight. She's not training and getting in shape for no reason and preparing for the next camp for no reason. I think Amanda Nunes is going to fight. It's just a matter of who. We know she's fighting, but who is going to be the opponent? It could be Valentina Shevchenko, because if they're going to make Amanda Nunes headline over Figueiredo Moreno 4, it must be a big fight. And I know Nunes versus Shevchenko 3 would be one of the biggest trilogies across women's MMA. And I could see them headlining a pay-per-view. They've done it before, 5 years ago, before both of them were even big names. Now Nunes and Shevchenko are like some household names and pioneers of WMMA. So now their trilogy will be bigger than their rematch, and more people will be like cramming to see that third fight. And I think it would definitely be pay-per-view headliner worthy. Nunes Shevchenko 3. And Valentina did post on her Instagram that she is fight ready. So, and she's been training her ass off as of late. So it could be Nunes Shevchenko 3, but if not, the alternate, in my opinion, is Nunes versus Aldana. And I think the last on the bucket list would be like Nunes Pena 3, but I highly doubt they're going to make that trilogy. Even though Pena wants it, I don't think the UFC is going to make it. It wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think so. I think if Valentina is not going to move up and fight Amanda Nunes, they're going to give Aldana the title shot. Let's be real. The UFC is really trying to push that Mexican market, especially because they got another Mexican on there fighting for the title. That could be huge if they could do a Mexico versus Brazil type of card in Rio de Janeiro. You know, two Mexican title challengers going up against two Brazilian champions. That could sell pretty big. Although it is surprising to me that they'd make Nunes Aldana a headline over Moreno Figueiredo. I wouldn't complain. I just want to see the fight. So looks like something will be announced soon. They haven't given up, and Figgy versus Moreno 4 will not main event UFC 283. I am fully confident Amanda Nunes is fighting, because no way in hell are they going to make Santos Shevchenko 2 main event over Figgy versus Moreno 4, because Valentina has never headlined a pay-per-view without Amanda Nunes. It hasn't happened yet. I don't think it'll ever happen now or ever. So she's not headlining a pay-per-view unless she's doing a trilogy with Amanda Nunes, not a flyweight title defense. That will never happen. So Nunes, she's gonna fight either Shevchenko, Aldana, or Pena, but I don't see it being Pena given how one-sided that rematch was. It's going to be hard to sell it right now. Like, Pena's got some work to do to really build herself as a contender once more, to build any kind of juice for a potential trilogy. So yeah, I think it's going to come down to Valentina and Irene Aldana. I really hope that it's going to be Irene Aldana, but UFC 283 is looking pretty good. Some good fights All they need is a good main event, and I think the card is good to go. And it looks like it could be a stacked card. Like at first, I wasn't feeling UFC 283, but then I look at the matchups. You know, Craig Walker is a good fight. Who doesn't want to tune in to watch Johnny Walker fight? Jessica Andrade is fighting, and she's fighting Lauren Murphy. No one would care if that Murphy's fighting unless it's against someone exciting like Andrade. And Andrade is a very exciting finisher in women's MMA. Gilbert Burns is fighting. I mean, who doesn't want to watch this dude fight, especially after his fight, one of his best fights of this year against Hamzat Chimaev, Figgy versus Moreno 4, some really good matchups, and then all we need is Amanda Nunes, and this is the perfect card to start 2023, the perfect pay-per-view to start 2023, because usually January pay-per-views are pretty mid, so we'll see what happens. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Who do you guys think will headline? What fights do you think will headline UFC 283? Like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.